Might be I should stop sharing the screen or not?
It's okay, keep it.
Okay, okay, very good.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again in our Reaxys series within the Elsevier NLC webinar series entitled Enhance Your Research with Elsevier. We've been through 2 previous sessions, and this is the 3rd one, and we'll be having 2 more sessions within March. Please let me welcome Mr. Alexei Mousib, the Life Science Solution Customer Consultant in Elsevier, Russia, Turkey, and CIS countries. Today, you will be talking to us about analytical chemist tools in Reaxys in a very interesting webinar for over 60 minutes from now. And just before the end of the session, I would like to remind you that we will be sharing with you the Google form where you can register for your certificate. Please fill in your full name and all data required. Your feedback is really important to us. We always want to know more what you would like to learn again in our series and upcoming series. If you have any special requirements and inquiries or comments, you are very welcome to share it with us. Thank you very much, Mr. Alexei, for being always our speaker, and really everyone till now is giving us a very nice feedback about the previous sessions. I would like to remind you that you can revise these previous sessions recordings. They're available on our website, on our Facebook page, and conference unit YouTube channel. The recording is available for the previous section. This session is also broadcasted live, and you can follow us through the Zoom meeting or through the YouTube channel. Please, you can start now, Mr. Alex.
Hello, thank you, Dr. El-Mawashi, for introduction and for hospitality and for everything. I think now we can start the main part of our webinar. Thank you, colleagues, for attending this webinar and for your time. I did everything to make it interesting for you. Today I will show you examples how to use Reaxys for analytical chemistry tools that I prepared for you. As I know, all of you already know what is Reaxys, but any case I will give again very short introduction. Probably we have some new attendees who has never participated in our previous lectures. And I will show again very shortly to remind how to find substances, objects, how to use structural search, and how to find the chemical reaction, molecular formula. Also, I will show how to get analytical technique and experimental condition from Reaxys, how to understand market availability of reagents, of ingredients that you are using in your analytical tasks, how to identify unknown substances that you want to analyze, and how, of course, how to use Reaxys to find information about properties, spectral, chromatographic, optical, fluorescences, electrochemical, other properties. I want to tell a couple of work about my background work in analytical chemistry. I'm about 10 years. I was working in analytical chemistry as an analyst in pharmaceutical industry, and also I was working on method development, and I tried to prepare the tasks and samples from this background to show you really real task from my experimental background, from real analytical tasks. Very briefly, what is Reaxys? Reaxys is the chemical database, biggest chemistry information database, and it's extract information from journals, from books, from patents. Also include a database of chemical reactions, of substances, of properties of substances, and a lot of useful information for chemists. Optionally, it have bioactivity database that for available not for everyone, but for some organization, for some institutions, and targets database, biological targets database. It collects chemical information from a lot of different sources, and you can use directly from the database this information. Here's the example cetan, a lot of information of cetan. You really save your time for finding information, for analysis information, compare it with other experimental work for over the world to and of course it improves quality of your scientific work, of your articles, and give better results, and of course helps you to prepare documents for to participate in grants and other things. It's also include a lot of different properties of material that I will show you later. It's information about a lot of different properties, melting point, stability of soils, and other information. What is very important, it gives immediate access to information, and also, of course, help you integrate in the scientific society over the world, and to find other authors, and to find needed information. Very, very briefly, I think a lot of our attendees know about this, how to use quick search, how to use structural search, molecular formula, but I will be showing this example on the base of analytical chemistry. Let's go directly to database, and I think you know the structure of this database. Quick search for very brief finding information, query builder for with professional chemical tools. Let's click to quick search and try to find some examples that could be interesting. For example, very popular analytical method, Carl Fisher. Sorry. Carl Fisher titration. Just enter it to quick search, click to find, and find a lot of material related to this. Totally a lot of articles that are really related to Carl Fisher titration. But the same thing you can really do in Scopus database. It's very easy to find this kind of document. What additional give you Reaxys, what is not existing in Scopus, in Web of Science, and in other in the database that not related to chemistry. In Reaxys, there are a lot of instruments that was created by chemists and created for chemists, and you have you can use this instrument in the query builder. Let's click to button edit in query builder our request. We can find here our requests, and also we can use make our request more relative with the using of logic operator like or, and, not, near, and for example near. With near you can make a request more relevant. For example, you telling to Reaxys what the distance between words in the document, because important that Reaxys looking in the full document in full text, and you can find more relevant document by using these filters. And also you can also add to your request a lot of request forms, and also use structure editor and other chemical tools. I will give you some other examples for this. For example, I will give you this request. Let's go again back. Again to quick search. Again, Carl Fisher titration. And also edit and query builder. And of course, we can add here. Some structure. Let's click to structure and add here some structures that interesting. Interesting for you. It could be some substance, for example. Click here, create structure. You can draw a lot here. A lot of instruments that will help you to create your molecule that interesting for you, draw this molecule, but you can also use the name of interested substance. For example, I giving cefazolin. It's also pharmaceutical thing. Click to cefazolin. Here is our substance that is interesting. Click to transfer. And here, if we will click to document, we will find, sorry, something wrong with this. I was trying this example yesterday when I was preparing to this presentation. It was some documents. Probably there is some small change in my requests, and you will find all the document related to this substance and with the analytical method that you're interested in. It's a very simple example how to use Reaxys to find analytical chemistry request. And also you can use structure editor to find chemical reaction. This is another example. This is a DTA together with calcium, and you can really draw the reactions that interesting for you to find all the document related to this. It's also another way to find document interesting for you, to find chemical reactions that existing in analytical methods just by using chemical search by chemical reaction. And what is really interesting that you are really finding information about conditions of experimental conditions and about extracting it directly from the database. Let's try to. I will try to show you this experiment. Is this sample? you are really drawing in a structure editor chemical reaction that interesting for you, using plus, using arrows, using other chemical tools, and it will help you chemical reaction that interesting for you. Also, you can use, of course, inorganic form to search inorganic material, like by using instrument molecular formula, for example. Silver nitrate. We are interesting to analytical method for example, for silver nitrate. Click to documents. I want to refresh Reaxys. Something wrong. We finding a lot of document where this substance existing, and find a lot of analytical methods which are using for analysis of this substance. Here in Reaxys 3, a really huge amount of analytical methods. Just click View More, and here physical analytical methods, physicochemical analytical methods. There are some spectroscopy analysis, separation methods, microscopy, thermal analysis, for example, electroanalytical methods, and volumetry, potentiometry. It's really very very fast way to find methods for analysis of the substances that interesting. It's X-ray spectroscopy, NMR spectroscopy, other analytical methods available for all substances that interested for you very fast. For example, we are interested in infrared spectroscopy. Click infrared spectroscopy. Click here and filter very fast documents that related to this analytical method. If you have some question, please ask it in chat. Probably we'll already have some questions from visitors. Not yet. Don't hesitate to and ask questions in chat. It's a very fast way to filter document by analytical methods. It's this instrument only existing in Reaxys. You will not find it in Scopus, in Web of Science, and only in Reaxys. It's a really helpful way to find this kind of document. Without Reaxys, you really spend a lot of time to for analysis a huge amount of document. With Reaxys, you really filter this information very fast. If you're interested to make more general information, for example, you can click to review, and usually review a very high quality document, and limit to review and really find very small amount of document, learn and you can analyze them and understand how to solve your analytical task. Strict structure editor have a lot of different things that will help you to find a different molecules, different materials. Here, it will take not less than 1 hour to explain you just general things about structure editor. That's why I will give you a link in chat. that will help you to find more information about this. Please use it. Here is the by this link available a lot of information about structure editor, tutorial videos, and other things. Also, some videos already available on the KB website and on website of NRC. Also, what I want to show you. I want to show you how a very simple example how to use Reaxys for to learn some chemical and mechanical and physical properties of some substance. For example, we are interested in thiodolin. Thiodolin is also a pharmaceutical drug, and we can we can use button insert structure from name, place here thiodolin, and then click to transfer to query, and then click to substances. Here we should find our substance. Here in the first position is thiodolin. We can and a lot of information about this. Here, information about document web from where it was extracted. Information about chemical reaction. If we will click here, we will find more than 1,000 chemical reaction where participate this substance. A lot of ways of preparation of this substance. Okay, let's click to preparation. You're really finding this way of preparation of this substance, and always you have information about how to do it, experimental procedure, if interested. But always you can find also from where you can get this substance, from which catalog, from a popular catalog, e-molecules, Sigma Aldrich. Sigma Aldrich, it's not available from Sigma Aldrich, interesting. And also in database commercial substances. From commercial substances, you're finding hundreds suppliers from over the world. Sometimes it's available, for example, from Russian suppliers, from United Kingdom, from other suppliers. Usually, everybody want to find suppliers from China. Let's trying to find suppliers in China. For thiodolin, we don't have Chinese suppliers, interesting. But okay, we can filter by Ukraine, for example, to find Ukrainian suppliers. Also, probably it will be cheaper than to buy it from United Kingdom or from United States or from Germany. And also here you will find a lot of information about purity, about packaging, about other things that will help you to find your substance, your reagent that needed for your analytical task, that will help you to save your time and save costs on finding on buying some material. And of course you will not need to synthesize these substances and find suppliers, because the worst way is synthesis the substance by yourself if it needed for your analytical task. Better to buy it from some supplier, and database will help you to do this. Also here available a lot of different information that will help you. For example, spectral information, NMR spectroscopy, infrared spectroscopy, for example, mass spectroscopy, of course UVV spectroscopy, and always you are getting information directly from Reaxys. You don't need to go to full text of your document and reading document, because a lot of spectroscopy information available directly from here, from database. And you even not need to learn document, full text of document, but you have link on this if needed. And also you can directly use it from Reaxys. It's also available information about mass spectroscopy and so on and so on. And for a lot of analytical methods. NMR spectroscopy. So it's a huge amount of information available directly from Reaxys, and you don't need to learn it. Other spectroscopic method, also some electron spectroscopy available for this substance, so on and so on. Also physical properties available, like melting point, density, absorption information that probably will be interesting. And what is very interesting, chromatographic data. Chromatography is very popular analytical method, and you really can find the supporting information about chromatography and extracted from document. For example, you can find document when explained HPLC method of analysis of the material that you're interested in. Of course, sometimes HPLC methods are very complex, and in this case, you will need to full text of the of article or the document that explaining analytical method, but at least you can easily find the links on article, and also understand which kind of chromatography used for analysis. And I will. It should be some. If you're interested in some fluorimetric method, they're also usually available here. Yes, here fluorescence spectroscopy, analytical information also available. Here you can get it. Electrochemical information should be available. Let's try to find it. Yes, electrochemical behavior is also available here. If you are going to make some electrochemical analytical method, you can learn the proper electrochemical properties of this material and other material. Directly from the database. Sometimes for analytical tasks are interested mechanical properties and, for example, crystal properties. This information also could be interesting and important. You can easily find it. This from different substances, of course, you will have different amount of properties, and you will find in Reaxys depending from some number of experimental work that was previously done by your colleagues over the world who was measure all these parameters. But it really everything available. If somebody was publishing something, you will find it. Also, want to show you again how to use Query Builder. For example, you're not find the information that you need in your in Reaxys. And for example, you need to develop for this substance, for theophylline, sorry, for theophylline, you need to develop some analytical method like titration. How Reaxys will help you? Just here in right side, a lot of filters that help you filtering by different parameters. Very useful tool is search in titles, abstracts, and keywords. For example, here we can place titration. And find what. Let's see what find database for us. Click to substances. What is important now? Reaxys is showing us hit data. What hit our requests? It also extracted from 1000 document, and you can understand what is the hit data. For example, dissociation exponent. Here it help you in development of titration methods. Also, probably sometimes information about spectroscopy will be interesting together with dissociation information, and also information about solubility should be interesting, informative for you if you are developing titration method. You see that also soluble in some other solvents. That could be also interesting information, that titration in this solvents is also possible. Its solution behavior also will help you. Solution behavior, it should be solution behavior. Explain it also here. Rate of dissolution in water, show it here. And other things, NMR spectroscopy and other things also could help you very much. And it really help you to find initial points to developing of your analytical tasks. Do not start from zero. To start working on the real experimental data, what that was done by other specialists. And if you not find exact full information, at least you will find some information that could be important for development of method. For example, all these filters are available in a lot of filters are already available here in search fields. For example, chromatography data. You can find chromatography data for some group of substances, for substances, or for if we will delete a substance, for find any information about chromatographic data. Here you can choose ion chromatography, TLC, ultra performance liquid chromatography, electrophoresis, other things to find needed information. For example, you want to use ion chromatography because usually it happens in water. You want to use water for ion chromatography, and here you can use a lot of things related to chromatography, like RT, like solvents, like eluents, and other things that will help you to find your analytical methods. It's also, there is an instrument in for example, in NMR spectroscopy, also helpful tool It's professional development, professional tool where you're placing solvents, temperature, frequency, a lot of things that will really help you to find the information about needed analytical methods. And sometimes if you are finding some information, let's come back to our theophylline. You're finding, for example, information about quantum chemical calculations. That sometimes if you're not able to find any real information from real experiments, you can find calculated information. It was for theophylline. Yes, quantum mechanical calculations, for example. For if really nothing, you cannot find from real experiments, sometimes this kind of calculation could help you. For example, here UVV's wavelengths could help you. Also, sometimes you are not always in reality. You always analyze some real objects, not clean substances, like plants, like foods, like raw materials or drinks. And in Reaxys, there is a very useful tool, isolated for filter isolated from natural source. How it will help you? You can just place here, for example, some food materials, some or some plant, and understand which substances could be extracted from this source. For example, let's place here pepper. Click two substances. Sorry. Oh, yes, 2P. And click two substances. Now you can find a lot of substances that was ever extracted by your colleagues for over the world from the pepper. It will really help you understand which compound existing in this food ingredient. This is a real example about when I was working in analytical laboratory. I was development method for one pharmaceutical company for analysis of paper that they was using the pharmaceutical ingredient. I was working without Reaxys, and for me it was very difficult to understand which component I should use in my analytical work. But here you can easily see that, for example, you can use capsaicin. Capsaicin is absolutely right ingredient to develop analytical method to estimate the quality of this ingredient. And also you can find all the chemical reactions, all the physical data, spectroscopy data for this ingredient. And also you can find, is it capsaicin available from different suppliers? Because, for example, if you are developing analytical methods in chromatography, you need to have a standard material, a standard sample to make the development work, to start this work. And you can easily find this to find suppliers for this capsaicin, order it and start working with your analytical tasks. Also, for example, I can give you another example of wines, also a real example. that I was working a lot of years ago. For example, wine. I was developing analytical method for wine. Here you can find isolated from natural sources, wine, and you can find all ingredients that could be extracted from wine, all substances. Here, quercetol, catechin, and other things. Some coumaric acid, urea, and some other things. Here real can give you understanding how to make analytical method to understand is it real natural wine or not natural wine created by from some chemical ingredients. It's really helpful, and you can understand. For example, as a sample, you can use some ingredients that very difficult to add to initial wine and develop analytical methods. And of course, you can place here some real plant ingredient, like example yarrow, and find all materials extracted from yarrow that was ever published. If you're developing analytical method of analysis of this real natural object. Also, what is important for you? Reaxys has a lot of filters that help you find material and with unique combination of properties. For example, boiling points. Also, for example, absorption. For example, I don't know, bulk viscosity. All these things will help you to find some documents, some materials with some mechanical parameters that will help you, and to find material with unique properties that are really needed for your analytical tasks. Also, how it could help you. For example, you need to determine some unknown substances. You have some information. For example, you know information about from analysis that showing the rate between atoms, and you have information about angle of optical rotation for this substance, and you don't need any other information. You want to understand how to determine this substance and to find other analytical methods for development to understand what is this substance is. You have everything available right here in Reaxys. You just place here optical rotatory power. You have this information. Also, you're placing here solvent. You know that your substance was solved in chloroform. You know optical rotatory power. You know what's the angle, placing it here. Also, you know molecular some information about molecular formula. Know that there is information that there is 6 store in the molecular information how nitrogen, 5 nitrogen, and 16 carbons, and that's all. You don't know any other information. And we will click on the substances, we will find all 3 substances with these parameters. And now you have all the information about these 3 substances. You know that some of substances is the object that you analyze, and here you can easily find what's the difference between properties of the substances to find which analytical method could be next step to develop next step of your analysis. It's really simple experiment. You finding this information, and you can understand that you can continue analysis, for example, with spectroscopic method to understand what is your assumption, and confirm the assumption to understand what is your substance. It's very simple analytical task that you're using for useful for Reaxys. And also another same example, determine in known substance. You don't know what is substance, but you know that the sublimation temperature in atmospheric pressure is this, melting point this. You know that it doesn't decompose when heated on 2000 kelvins, and you know from elemental analysis that there is no carbon and oxygen. And also you can make the same request and find all substances that fits to these parameters, and understand what could be next analytical methods to continue analysis of this material. The same, and you can, for example, make use it for analysis of some interesting materials like alloys. For example, you know that alloy containing cobalt, you know the melting point, and you can easily use Reaxys, again molecular formula, place here nickel and iron, and place melting point, and find all the materials that fit to this request, understand what is this alloy. Also useful for this specific analytical tasks. I see some question in chat. Mainly questions about certificates. Okay, but if you have other questions, do not hesitate to ask. I want to tell you again about export functions again, and everything that you are finding in Reaxys you can easily export to your hard drive. Just click on the substances that are interesting for you, click to export, and you will able to export your document to a lot of different formats like Word, Excel, Smiles, also format that allowed to use in Mendeley. Absolutely everything that you're finding in Reaxys you're able to export, and working with this offline or using in your articles. It will also include the links to the articles from where it was extracted. Also the same story with chemical reactions. You can extract chemical reactions with experimental procedure. And records will be really full, including all properties extracted, all experimental procedure, all spectroscopic information. And if you are working in Reaxys, you don't really need to use any copy paste in your keyboard. Don't need to rewrite some information, and you can use it directly to compare with your result, to planning your experimental work, and to confirm the result that you get in your experimental work. Here, I was not showing you a reaction database, but I will do it now. Here you can also some specific filtration, specific filter here in the left side. You can filter by yield. You can filter by reagent catalysis. You can filter by solvents. For example, you're interested only on reactions in methanol and other things. Chemical reaction in methanol very often very popular in analytical chemistry. You can click here and filter by methanol. Also some solvents, reaction classes, document data, and so on and so on. What is really could be interesting for you? In Reaxys, there are a lot of experimental data that were done by other scientists and published it in the article. Sometimes you don't able to make any experimental work. Sometimes the only way to find experimental data for your analytic task is using data from Reaxys. For example, here, just information about solubility of some materials in water. And here it was made some predicted work and to understand how it how it's possible to use in analytical practice, and that you see that result is not bad. Sometimes if you don't have any other information, you can use experimental data directly in your mathematical model to estimate some measurement, and it could help you. And as I was telling you that everything is you can export. You will not need to copy paste the information. You just click to export for some, for example, for some substance. You need to understand information about some properties. You need to export it. Click to this substance. Click to export, and all the information will be exported. In this case, it's better to use Excel, and all the experimental data will be exported. Also, what you can do, if you are working in Reaxys, all history that of your requests is always available. You can save it for your future. Just to click to save, and give the name to set, and in future you will be able to return to your query, to your requests. And also you can for request you can organize email system of email alerts. Just click to alert, and system will be scanning, for example, every week or every update, or every 2 weeks, all the database, and sending your alert to your email, or to email of your colleague that some new information about Reaxys available and was published in some article or some patent or somewhere else, and you are not even going to database, and database is working on you and make this monitor for you. Also, what is also interesting, the history of your requests is always available, and you can use the same logic with your history. For example, you was working with some requests, and you can use logical operator like or, like not here directly with your request, with your when you're working with your history. And also you can combine it also with search with search fields, with Reaxys search fields, to organize very complex requests. And you're not if you're spending a lot of time on some request, you can save it and save your query and come back later to this request. But to do this, you need to be signed into the database. You need to use login and password, the same login and password you are using in Reaxys, in ScienceDirect, in Scopus, in Scival, in all Elsevier tools. You are using the same login and password. Also important information, I think, about patents. I want to focus your attention on this unique feature of Reaxys. For example, if you are working with some documents, let's come to our history. There's a lot of here is 10,000 documents. Let's filter them by patents. Filter by patents. This is the information was published in patents. And also let's filter by some unknown language, for example, Chinese. I'm not speaking Chinese. For example, I'm not able to read original Chinese documents, but here in the Reaxys now you can do this. You can understand what about these patents, which of course which substances and chemical reactions in these patents. What about these patents? And also what's very important, also understand what the abstract and what the claim. It's give you fully understanding of your document. Even you are not speak Chinese, for example, you can understand what about these patents. The same with articles, but for patents it's really important because a lot of patents are publishing. And now this information, you can use Reaxys to access to this information, even you are not speaking original language. Everything is already translated. Let's go back to our plan. Look that everything is covered. We discussed, yes, we discussed all optical, electrochemical, crystalline properties, and other data. It means that we have time. Now it's 4 o'clock, but any case, might to be somebody of you want to ask some questions. Do you have questions, colleagues? Waiting for your questions. I think our webinar going to the end. It was planned at 60 minutes, but now we are a little bit out of the time. Yes, I think our organizers sent to you forms for Google Forms that will help you to get certificate. If it's obtained spectral data, how to say, it's obtained it in Reaxys showing you spectral data, but it's showing you this in, go to UV spectroscopy, in numbers, in text, as a text extracted from the article. We are not allowed to show you pictures extracted from the article, but we are allowed to extract texts. It means that if you want more details, you have to click to full text to understand, to get the picture. But everything that we able to extract from the document is available, including solvent, including other spectroscopy information. How I reach the structure from Reaxys? How I reach the structure from Reaxys? As I understand well, you build some structure in Reaxys using its instruments. I don't know, anything that you need. And you can export, you can save it to any format that you want. For example, in Smiles, in other formats. Also, you can export it as a JPEG or PNG image and use it in your article. Also, a lot of instruments for import and export data into the structure editor. Also, integrated in database simple version of ChemDraw editor. You can also use Reaxys for editing in ChemDraw. There is some small restricted version of ChemDraw, but in any case, it's very useful. But of course, Marvin.js have more instrument for searching. but if you prefer to use ChemDraw, no problem. And also you can make your request in the normal ChemDraw that you are using every day, and import information from ChemDraw to Marvin.js and also export it. That was a question from Manal Shabana. And thank you very much for your question. Other questions, if you have questions, do not hesitate to ask. Okay, let's wait 2 minutes. Looks that our webinar going to the end. If will be no other questions in next 2 minutes, we will finish our webinar. Thank you very much for attending and for your questions and for interest to Reaxys. I really recommend to use it because it's really help to save your time and very often save also your costs. And sometimes it will help you, will give you some new ideas, because in Reaxys you're finding everything in very systematic, structured, very good visualization, and only with using these instruments you can really, it will give you ideas how to find something, and might to be give you ideas about your scientific work. I see some the people that today in our webinar also guests from Macedonia. Not only from Egypt.
Yes, Mr. Alexi, we always have followers from not only from Egypt, not only from Africa and the Middle East. Sometimes we have some followers from other countries in Europe and maybe in Asia, sometimes from America. So it's very nice having you actually today. We are very proud of the feedback we are getting. Everyone is saying it's very excellent lecture, very informative, as usual. So thank you very much for being part of this event today. We have shared the Google form for the certificates with our participants. Please fill in the form and you will receive your certificate in the Google Drive shared link too. You can find it within 5 to 10 minutes from your submission. You will also find a participant guide with some information and further readings and important questions regarding the webinar today. Thank you very much for being our attendees. Actually, we will be having again. Please send it again. Okay, we will. I would like to remind you of our next webinar. Date and time will be next March 15th at 17 our Cairo local time, 5 p.m. Cairo local time. So wherever you are following us, just find the proper time for your area and your time zone. Keep following us on the conference unit website. Keep following us on our Facebook page, on our YouTube channel. You can find this recording of today's live webinar and previous webinars on the website, on the YouTube channel. Please feel free to share it with anyone who might be interested and could not be our attendee live today. You are all most welcomed. Your feedback is most welcomed, and we always need to hear from you, whatever you need to learn more with us in our upcoming series. Thank you very much, Mr. Alexi Moisi, for being our speaker today and every day in this series about Reaxys, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Dr. El Mowafi, and thank you everyone for attending, and see you on our next event.
Thank you very much, everyone. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.